A printer! Oh my gosh. Hello. Oh. Let's film that intro again. This is hard. Hello. It's been a long time. Long time no see. Goopy here. You know, it's been a while since I've been able to sit down and talk about my experience. And one of them was running an online store as an artist. So for those that don't know me, hi. I'm Carla. I run Goopy Mart. Sometimes you'll see me running around, you know, standing behind my booth at shows, or you'll find me on my social media where I post most of my art and what I'm up to these days. I'm not a professional, and this video is mainly just to break down things that I've picked up along the way when I am running my online shop. And I thought it would just be a nice way to recommend some of my favorite things that I've come across to other artists that are looking to use the same things for their online business. This video might get a little rambly. I don't plan to share anything in any particular order. I hope this helps anyone, artist friends. This is for you. And as always, if there's any items that you're looking for that are mentioned in this video, you can always find it in the description down below. But let's get right into it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some of my favorites, and that includes materials, websites, tools that I've been using to run my online shop, which I found very helpful. The first item that I cannot skip out on is having a label printer, which is also the sponsor of today's video. So thank you, PHOMEMO, for sending over the PM64D thermal label printer. This one is one of their newest models for handling label printing. It comes with a really small touchscreen and different label sizes. It also is incredibly easy to install on any device. And the best part about this printer, guys, it's Bluetooth compatible. Yeah. I can print anywhere in my house. Even my neighbor might accidentally Bluetooth to my label printer. Hey neighbor, please don't do that. Please don't actually connect to my label printer.
Setting up is actually relatively easy, but
the USB-C cord is actually a little too short to reach my computer over there. But I am going to try syncing to the Bluetooth setting. I think that would be very convenient so that I don't even have to connect to the computer. So we're gonna do that right now. What's really nice is that the touchscreen right here has a bunch of ready help things that you can look for. So if you need help setting this up, then they have information that you can just touch. It is a touchscreen. There's a QR code. So let's go through our settings so you can adjust the display and brightness. You can make it super bright if you need to. Label, oh. Wow, so it also feeds through the front and the back just to calibrate the sizing of your label, depending on what size you have. So if you needed to recognize it, then you can do that. There's also, if you want to change the language, so you can go back from Chinese or English. Also product information if you just want to check on your model. And they have a Bluetooth name. Awesome. I will be connecting to that. So that really helps. Right now there's a reprint option. So let's say a document comes out and it doesn't print out properly. So it saves the previous information of whatever document you had, which is really nice. That's really nice. So if it messes up, then just hit reprint and it should be fine.
the convenience of having a label printer is actually being able to customize your own stickers. So here I decided to design my own fragile handle with care sticker, and what's really nice is that you could draw your own stickers and also just edit text on top of it, and then you can use your printer to just print out the designs. So usually when making labels, you want to stick to black and white designs. The label printer will just recognize the black areas of the ink and print those out. You can also be really creative with your designs. So here I'm just trying out some photos to see what will print out on the thermal label printer. And I even tried like illustrations just to see what would also show up. So you can see that it picks up the darkest colors and leaves the whites open. In this case, yeah, it took only the dark colors for the apple. And then here I set up smaller stickers on a 4x6 label, so you really can be creative with whatever you want to print on these labels. I get a lot of questions on where I set up barcodes. So actually, if you go onto this website called Open Label Maker, it's very convenient in configuring all types of sizes when it comes to making labels. So here I'm just making a sample barcode, but you can set the size to whatever barcode size that you have for labels. In my case, I just went with the 50 by 25 millimeter. And in this case, you want to make sure that you're selecting the correct orientation. So I made the mistake by choosing 1.5 by 2, but because it's horizontal, you want to do 2 inches by 1.25 so that this will print correctly on the orientation of your labels. This is really convenient if you're running an online store or you want to track your inventory, so you can now scan items with the barcodes.
So I've been using my old label printer for 2 years now, and this has saved my life and time in shipping orders. So if you don't own one, this item right here relies on thermal paper. So the thermal paper essentially is like a paper where it can rely on heat to put different types of designs or whatever using the machine. And it's nice as well because it's inkless. So you don't have to buy ink cartridges anymore for this label printer. Yeah, it just relies on the thermal technology. So labels come in different sizes, but the most common is 4x6, and they're adhesive. So when you print labels, all you have to do is print and stick, which is very, very convenient. When I first opened my online store, I used to print and cut all my labels out with an inkjet printer, which is fine. But I would just have to cut and tape them out onto the package, and it wasted a lot of packaging tape because you'd have to tape like all the corners, even the middle, just so it'll stick onto the box. And honestly, it took a long time. I would also mess up the sizes. So sometimes if you print the labels too big or too small, but now this is a lot of time and you can hook it up to your online shop. It's very compatible. I've used it with any online store that can export shipping labels essentially. So Etsy, Big Cartel, they're already formatted to make thermal labels when you do your shipping. What's nice about this new label printer, they sent over different label types and you can resize to print them for stickers, branding labels. I love the branding labels. I think this definitely adds a personalization to your products that has your name on it. When you're a brand or an artist, I think it's very important to add your name visibly wherever or everywhere on your products. We live in a consumer society. A lot of people's attention spans are very short. So when you put your name on something or like any item, they can easily associate that and look for your website, your socials, and find more of your work. Branding is just a really great way for people to retain like your artist name, which I think is very helpful. So thank you, PHOMEMO, for sending over this label printer. If you're interested in looking for a label printer yourself, you can check out their website right here. The next on my online shop favorites list is, you guys already guessed it, is a printer. Specifically the Epson 8550 Ecotank. I talked about this a lot in my previous video when I was looking for a new all-in-one printer to handle art prints, heavy-duty printing for shows, and this bad boy, it's lived up to my expectations. I've had the Epson Ecotank for 3 years now and still has served its purpose to this day. I know I hype it up, but it's worth the hype. 3 years worth of using the printer really has helped my business and like also for a lot of shows. So to recap, this printer is a large format of the Ecotank photo printer. It has a scanning bed that can scan up to 8.5 by 14 inches. So if you are a traditional artist or you want to scan photos, materials, you can use a scanning bed for that. I've seen artists as well scan fabric as well as other materials, which they can reuse for digital art as well, which is really fun. The tray in the back can also print up to 13 by 19. That's kind of big. But I mainly use it to print 11 by 17 posters, A3 essentially. But you can print up to 13 by 19, which is a really big print. So for those of you that have bought prints from me before, I use this printer a lot to print my 5x7s, the small prints right here, the 8.5 by 11s, which is the medium prints right here, and then the 11 by 17 posters, which is like the most common one. I've gotten a lot of questions on like what papers I'm using for printing, and I use a lot of different brands. Honestly, it's a lot of trial and error when it comes to like testing new papers out. I honestly recommend also just doing the same because my paper preferences may not suit what your art print needs are, you know. So I like matte. I'm very sensitive to texture. I like how the paper feels as well, and the thickness and the quality of the paper. Personally, I just don't use glossy. I think it leaves a lot of fingerprints, and then I always get a sticky feeling when I'm like holding the paper, which I don't really like. I noticed too, like when you have glossy prints, they tend to reflect a lot of light, so I actually can't really see the design. So although glossy is great for photography and other media, it's just not my preference and the art that I create. So if you want to see the papers that I use, here they are. So question of the day. Here are my favorite papers. So for the first one, I like to use, oh, this is big, REDRIVER paper. I like to use REDRIVER paper 300 white or off-white. This one is the Aurora Art White 300. So essentially they are a website or shop that specializes in very high quality art paper, art printing paper too. So I highly recommend shopping on their online website because their catalog has a ton more options for you to choose from photography to fine art, whatever you're looking for. They offer more. But because, like, you know, I told you before, I like matte prints. So this was like the quality that I really like and recommend. I tried a couple of their papers. They have a sample pack, which was really nice. So if you're not sure where to start, I would just order their sample pack. And you can do this for like other websites as well. If you order a sample pack, then you can test out all of their photo papers. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I just really like their paper quality. But what's nice is, you know, they come in different sizes as well. So this is 5x7 REDRIVER paper in polar matte and 88 pounds. So what's nice about these papers is that they give you instructions. So, you know, sometimes you're not gonna know how to use the paper, and that's totally okay. They give you instructions on what print settings to use for the printer that you have. So what's nice is that they cover Epson, Canon wide format. Generally, if like depending on the printer that you have, you can just follow these settings. So for example, I have the Epson. So because this is matte paper, you know, it's gonna tell you to use ultra premium presentation paper matte or hot press natural, which is a print setting that you can find on your printer. So there you go. That's what they recommend when printing using their print paper, and it has worked very well for me. And then another thing to note, I know a couple people have asked, what does the 300 stand for? So 300 is the paper weight. You know, the posters can get really thick. Here's an example, I think. The paper is thick, if you could hear that. So poster paper comes in different cover stocks. So I like 300 just because the thickness is really nice and sturdy, in my opinion. That's just the quality that I go for. But one thing to note, though, of course, is 300 can be really heavy and thick for your printer, so it might not feed through. Personally, I do feed it through the Epson 8550. It does take it, but it might get stuck. So you have to push it. So just a disclaimer, if you're trying to feed really thick cardstock or cover paper, that your printer might not be able to take it. So if you're not confident in printing in 300 GSM, you can always go lower. Just print in a lighter cover stock, like 120 to 200 GSM might be better, which is still pretty thick, just not as, you know, sturdy as the one that I was holding. All right, another one of my favorites is Koala paper. Koala paper, you can actually find these on Amazon. They also have their own website. But if you want a more affordable option, I do like Koala. They have great double-sided matte photo paper. So again, I like matte, but they have glossy. You know, you could find any other surface types if you'd like, but I like their matte photo paper. I use this for my medium prints, and I also use these for my photo cards. So it's very important that if you are printing double-sided, you need double-sided matte photo paper so you could print on the back if you have back designs. So this is really convenient. And it's basically, what's the weight? So it says 66 pounds or 250 grams. So that's 50 less than 300. It's also pretty thick for paper. So I like the thickness because this emulates the thickness of photo cards, in my opinion. So if that's something that you're looking for, then you can get this one. And lastly, my other favorite print paper that I use for like smaller prints that you see in my shop, I use Pacific Inkjet for 5x7 prints. So they have Pacific Inkjet matte photo paper that comes in 5x7. I believe they sell other sizes as well, I'm not too sure, but I mostly just buy this size. So it's only matte photo paper on one side. You have to be careful not to print on the back because it's just regular cardstock. But I like the quality of this, so if you have bought from me before, these are the papers that you are actually getting. I could go on and on about how this printer has been really helpful. It's a main source of where I get my prints done. Sometimes if it's too much for me to print, I'll just outsource it. You know, you could do that too. I have a local printer which gets my posters done as well, or my smaller prints if I can't do large batches and I'm running out of time. So that's totally normal too, but I've used this printer to like make stickers at home. I print signage with it if I just need new signs for my booth. I even use it to print like 200 letters for my book. So if you run like a snail mail club or anything like that, yeah, you could print hundreds of letters if you'd like. My printer did break at one point from overprinting, where it was just going on and on and on, and like one of the pins came off because, you know, I was printing for 3 days straight. So, but I fixed it. I fixed my printer and she's still working like a beauty. So yeah, it'll last. Another on the online shop favorites list is, so I really like Shopify, my favorite e-commerce website. As someone who has tried many online websites to sell their work, I've used Etsy, Big Cartel, Ticktail, Store Envy. I even tried Google Forms once, but Shopify has been a really awesome upgrade. So I say upgrade because Shopify itself is actually on the pricier side when starting out a business for the first time. It also provides a lot more customization options when running a shop. So it can be really overwhelming for those that are starting out, and that's okay. It might be a little too much. So for beginners and those that just want to get a familiar start with online businesses, I really recommend starting with Etsy. They already have an audience for online shopping, and they also provide a lot of guides and tips on opening your storefront and creating listings. They also explain shipping rates to you, which is very important. So if you need a more breakdown of tutorials, this website basically explains it to you, which I found very helpful when I was starting out. Etsy has a fee per listing, so this basically works as their commission price that they're providing you a service, but also a shopping audience, which is really nice. Another alternative, if you want an easier setup experience for setting up an online shop, I also like Big Cartel. Big Cartel, they have different price tiers. I think you can find it here. And I think there's a free shop tier as well. I'm not too sure, but they allow you to list just up to 5 products on the free trial version for a working website. This can be a great start for having a more professional, personalized storefront, in my opinion, that's not Etsy branded. And then it's also very, very easy to just make a listing and then add your logo on the website, and there you go, you have an online store. But if you are looking for an upgrade, you're ready for more customization and growing your brand, which was the next step for me, Shopify has been really, really great. I moved to Shopify last year and migrated my products over. I also bought my own website domain, so now I own cupimart.com. What I like most about Shopify is not only the ease of being able to manage your orders, but also the front page customization. I found that as I grew as an artist, I wanted to come off as more professional. So having a customized front page kind of served as a portfolio for people looking at my website for the first time. There's a lot of more compatible widgets you can add in, like how I put my Instagram posts right here, or you can look at my shop reviews, which is a widget as well. I can even make pre-order buttons, which is really convenient when I was releasing my book. So if you have more experience in website building, you know, Shopify allows customized CSS, HTML, all that fancy schmancy stuff, which can allow you to fully change your website to look really different. But if you're looking for just the essentials, they do have basic templates as well, which look just as great. Guys, another online business shop essential is having a kitchen scale and packaging tape. When you're in an online shop, you're going to encounter a lot of package weights and dimensions. I think it's just important to have that handy next to you so that you can measure the weights for packaging your items. So this is just a really cheap kitchen scale, which measures in ounces. This is really convenient, again, if you're trying to measure the weight of your packages. And then the other essential was packaging tape. So I use clear packaging tape for a lot of things. It has been very helpful for mailing. This comes with a holder and a blade. So this little tab right here helps, like, if the tape gets stuck down, then it pushes it to get the tape back out. And it also comes with a blade as well. Really, if you have this tab right here, it's supposed to get caught on the tape so that you can peel it back over. Right? So now if the tape, you know, gets stuck onto the roll, you just push here to find the tape. And then it has a blade here, which is so convenient. So instead of grabbing scissors, you can just rip it, which I like. I think it's super convenient. But yeah, I use it for sealing boxes, envelopes, and they're waterproof, which is really nice, which can help seal boxes from getting wet. I know mail can go through all types of weather, rain, sleet, snow, or hail, and even dust storms now. And you don't want that getting in your packages. So, you know, you can use the clear plastic tape just to cover any holes and also make sure your packages don't get opened. I know Scotch tape is not super sustainable since it technically is just plastic. I have to double check on that. But because I'm just trying to go through these rolls, I'm trying to like finish them so that I can switch to a more recyclable option for packaging tape. I know there's like craft paper packaging tape or water activated ones, which are, they might be a bit more expensive, but if you are looking for a more sustainable route, you could switch to those, but packaging tape, you need it. I also use a lot of paper bags now, which are very recyclable. I also switched to cardboard. I mean, yeah, if the bubble mailers don't fit, then I have cardboard boxes now, which are also reusable and more degradable. And even for posters, I have the recycled cardboard paper. Yeah, these are thinner, which are just, I use like any boxing packaging that I can to just keep it sturdy, but these are also recyclable as well. So as much as possible, cardboard or paper products to ship your items is really nice. Or sometimes I'll just reuse the actual box to send to another customer, and I'll add a label with my label printer that I made. That adds a little note that says that this was packaged with recycled material. You're welcome to recycle the package yourself as well, which is really nice. I think, you know, you should try to go through a more sustainable route if you can and not go through as much packaging because it does start to accumulate. But yeah, so that about wraps up my online shop favorites. Thank you for tuning in on such a lengthy video of just me talking. I know it's a lot, but you know, if there's any items you want to find, they are available in the link description below. And if you like these kinds of videos that explains my tools and what I use, and you find it helpful, let me know in the comments below, and I can always make more. But as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!